things changed politically. And what happened was that Gough Whitlam, the Labor Party, came in. It meant that university was free. And so my goal of able to be a teacher that I wanted to be in year 5, I wanted to be a teacher, a maths teacher.
Okay.
That was the goal.
Yeah.
And the opportunity to do that. So even though I only got straight C's for matriculation, I got into Flinders University, and that became an important place for me. But I was young. I was only 17 when I went to university. My birthday was right at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
And so I was always the youngest in the class. And so I was able to drive at 16 and during matric, but 17 changed things for me. What happened was my brother invited me to go to church. Now, my brother was not at church. He found out that there were some good-looking girls at this little church, as you do, and it was a Sunday night service. And so my mother had just come back from Sydney, and she brought back one of those laughing boxes where if you press the button, came out.
Oh, goodness.
So we thought we'd put it into our pocket and go to church, because there was a coffee lounge afterwards and everything like that. Well, we struck a lay preacher. This is nothing against lay preachers, but 45 minutes and he was still going. And, you know, these are two guys who've never been to church before, wooden pews, it's cold, and you wriggle one more time and off it went. The laughing box went off. The girls in front of us were trying to hold back the laughter. The whole service, he stopped the whole service. And then as we were leaving, he pointed, looked at me and he said, "Satan sent you to stop this service."
Oh, goodness.
Well,
me.
So that was a bit of a thing. But you see, even though that was the case, the people saw the funny side of it all, were thankful that the service stopped because they were getting a bit bored by it as well, and invited us to do that. And so we went to the coffee lounge. And out of their love and their invitation, I came back. And I came back a couple of Sundays later, and there, right sitting in that pew, I heard God speak to me.
Okay, I have to ask, did you take the laughing box with you again, or did you learn?
No.
Okay, you learned.
I learned.
You learned.
But I was labelled.
Yeah.
I was labelled. But anyway, and what I heard was God speak to me, and he said he loved me. And it's not that it wasn't an audible voice, but it was really a sense of a strong inner voice saying that he loved me. And there was a sense of not only just loving me, but inviting me to join him.
That doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry, John. Like, so you didn't hear a voice in your head. You just felt something? Like what?
It was a feeling.
A feeling.
But it was also the words. So it wasn't an audible voice outside me.
Okay.
But it was something inside of me that were connected to me that I heard.
Okay.
And that he said, "I love you," which is, you know, just like transforming.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
And then the invitation started. I started to go to church. I loved the Bible, and I really wanted to get in and explain the Bible to people. So they invited me to take services and be part of the youth service and things like that. But we had a problem. I was young. I was a Christian, 18, 19, and I asked too many questions. And when you're in church and you ask too many questions about things like that, that are quite curly questions, and they struggle to answer because you're supposed to believe literally what it says. You're not supposed to ask questions. It became a difficulty. And so, and then there was some murmuring with the youth, and I tried to be a voice for that. And it became obvious that my time at that church needs to change, which is a bit sad, but we have strong feelings of it all. So my friend invited me to Adelaide to Morn Church, and that was a totally different thing, an evening service, mainly people of our own age, single people, people who struggle, and they did a contemporary worship. And part of that is they invited me to take leadership in that. In the end, was running that at Morn Church. And it was an amazing experience, and it really formed what I got myself in, because you see, the people who came weren't the recognised people. They were the least, the lost, the last of the community. We had one group we called the Four Musketeers. They were four gentlemen. Some were deaf, others couldn't speak. And this Keith was a very tall man, And unfortunately, he liked methylated spirits too much. So when he spoke to you, he was up there, right, and the gas is coming right off of him. So, but it was amazing because he came back a year or so later. He was there all the time. And he came back a year later. There was no methylated spirits. And he showed me the pictures. He took these other 3 guys on the bus to the Gold Coast and showed them all around the Gold Coast and brought them back again. And that sort of just touched my heart. Here's a guy who people would write off, and yet he had something in him. God somehow changed him, took him off the methylated spirits, and gave him the capacity to look after these 3 other guys. And they were like brothers together. That's what we call them, the 4 Musketeers.
Right,
And that was really exciting in that way. It was an invitation that was there. I met my wife there at Morn Church, and it was a time when the Uniting Church was being formed. And so it was a time of exploration. Back at the Baptist Church, meanwhile, back at the Baptist Church earlier on, I went on to a church exchange to Dandenong Baptist, and that's when I felt the call of the Spirit through the preaching to think about being a minister.
Okay.
But my problem is I'm trained to be a teacher, and I've still got study to do. What do? Do I toss everything in? Because I also run a Commonwealth scholarship, so I was committed to the Commonwealth for 3 years to teach.
Yeah.
So I decided to complete the teaching and to worry about that call afterwards.
Thanks for watching this short clip of Life Bursts. Make sure that you hit the subscribe, like, and follow button. And for more, head to rawcut.com.au.